Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, our internet friends. Welcome to the Medicare Cafe.
My first friends.
First friends?
My first friends.
Your first friends.
Yeah,
They're
all
gangs,
internet based.
Gangs all
Gangs
here.
all here.
Were you that kid in high school that, like, you definitely had a girlfriend? She just went to a different school and nobody would know her?
I doubled down and said she's in another country.
She's in another country.
It's my Canadian girlfriend.
My Canadian girl. You wouldn't know her.
Yeah.
She goes to a different country.
Don't you know?
Welcome, my friends. You are joined by your host, as always. My name's Olivia Richardson.
And my name is Benjamin Lavis.
And today we got, and we're back with Brittany, guys. Everybody, welcome back, Brittany. We're really excited to have her back in the mix. She was busy doing all the mama stuff.
Yeah, I kind of forgot she existed low-key.
Oh, she's gonna kill
Yeah,
you.
I mean,
oh,
she needed someone to focus on. I'll go ahead and land on that sword.
You are done, my dude. I hope you enjoyed being on the cafe. You'll never be back.
I already celebrated Brittany this morning.
That's a really nervous drink you just took. Guys, on today's cafe, we're going to focus primarily on what selling opportunities you have for the remainder of this year. As we know, back in the day, it was kind of like insurance agents, you can tell whenever somebody's like was in the game and then like left. And then when you talk to them, because they say like, oh, like, yeah, you're kind of in your slow period. And like, I mean, honestly, agents like really don't do anything between the months of, well, at the time, that's a whole other thing. Really don't do anything in like second and third quarter, right? So you guys are kind of just laying back and letting it happen.
Yeah, spending all that money you made in AEP.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're spending all them Medicare's monies.
Yeah, all them dollars.
And going on vacation and not working anymore. And my gosh, that could not be more of a lie. In fact, Medicare Advantage plans are written more in the first 9 months of the year than they are the last 3 months of the year. So we're going to talk today about where is the opportunity, things to be aware of when looking at this opportunity, and all the fun things.
Yes.
And all the fun things. Also, I like to note that me and Ben are in the reverse clothes today. He's wearing a blue striped shirt with tan pants, and I'm wearing a blue shirt with a tan striped shirt.
Wait, it's a killer thumbnail. We go like partially back to back.
Sadie will kill us. Sadie will be so mad. Before we get into that, though, I did get a text message because, like I said, if you guys do want to talk to me, you can always use the live chat feature or just text that number up there. That is my real cell phone number. So if you text it, I always try to get back to responding to you. I did get a really interesting text message, and I wanted to answer it first and foremost because it was a text that said, hey, do you mind talking about this? It said, I saw an article from AHIP that said that Medicare was considering auto enrollment into for Medicare beneficiaries into a Medicare Advantage plan. Could you discuss the possible effects on agents tomorrow, even though it would be an opt-out option? Seems like they're really trying to bypass an agent role in this initial enrollment. So I have my thoughts on this because we already kind of see that when it comes to there's already auto enrollment is already happening.
Right.
It's happening for prescription drug plans when somebody is in low income subsidy. So we are already seeing the mechanisms available for auto enrollment, just on a much smaller scale. So I did enlist Chaylin, for all of you guys who see Chaylin, who is a member of the Medicare Cafe family. It just got a new position at Integrity as Vice President of Government Affairs. And so I obviously asked the Vice President of Government Affairs, what is your take on this? And ultimately, it is something that is not likely to happen. He said most likely something like this is not something that can be done by CMS. This is going to have to be something done by an active Congress. And they said many times a bill like this is just going to sit in limbo and not actually see the light of day.
Kind of pong back and forth between the two entities. So.
Well, and he said it's basically right now stuck in a committee that is a ultra conservative committee. And it has nothing to do with insurance agents. It's not whenever Congress and this is being presented, it's 100% looking at the cost savings of being able to auto-enroll somebody into a Medicare Advantage plans, because Medicare, when we're looking at cost savings, is saying that it costs in theory, according to this committee, Medicare spends less money when a person's on a Medicare Advantage plan than when they're on original Medicare with a Medicare supplement. And that makes sense because original Medicare doesn't have, and Medicare supplements, they talk about this a lot, they don't have the stop gaps and the extra belt and the extra hoops to jump through to get something approved. Like there isn't an entity that says, yes, we will, or no, we will not approve that claim. Like there is on a Medicare Advantage plan. There's a lot more that a provider has to do to get somebody to get a claim paid through a Medicare Advantage plan. So there is, on the eyes of the government, cost savings to have somebody do a Medicare Advantage plan versus original Medicare. But it's not likely that that bill is going to see the light of day. It has nothing to do with insurance agents. It's 100% just a super conservative committee looking at the cost savings of a Medicare Advantage plan versus a original Medicare for the government, not for your clients.
I was a bit confused because I was thinking like
that was a big confused.
Like I was thinking auto enrollment. I was like, well, we already see that like when you go from one AEP to the next AEP and you're not changing your plan.
That's a good point.
But you're saying like upon aging into Medicare, auto enrolling them into a like default advantage plan for their county or something like that.
Yes, that's exactly right. This is basically saying whenever somebody ages in or gets Medicare due to ESRD or ALS, whatever the case may be, if they get, and whenever they're initially enrolled in Medicare, there was a bill that was proposed that was, they get put into a Medicare Advantage plan, auto-enrolled in that, and then they would either have to opt out of that to be on original Medicare. So basically right now, you have to opt out of the original Medicare to be and get on a Medicare Advantage plan, basically just reversing that. And again, it has nothing to do with agents. It has everything to do with that Medicare Advantage plan in the eyes of the government costs less than somebody on original Medicare.
I can see it to some degree. It is. I can see why it's being proposed. Oh, hey.
Oh, we're not. Can I tell? Can I say? Okay, guys. Sadie just walked in, and we got really quiet. And I don't know why we're whispering because I'm in the microphone whispering. We'll talk about this at the end because I don't want to derail us. But there's a reason why Sadie's in here. Okay.
Gang's all here.
And you're welcome, Will. The gang's all here for the last time. We'll get to it later. Anyways, thank you, Will. Remember when I said Sadie was going to be really mad at me? I'm about not to worry about that.
We're about to have so much creative freedom.
We're about to have so many crazy thumbnails. I'm going to make jokes or I'll cry. We'll get into that here in a little bit. So that's what's going on with that auto enrollment. So thank you for asking that question.
Good question.
The other thing I wanted to mention before we get into today's content is going to be, I want a raise of hands who's going to Medicarians. Here's the deal. I am going to Medicarians. I've gone every year since 2017, I think, back whenever it was Medicare Supplement Conference. I did skip 1 year whenever the first time I was at the Fat and Bleh. I don't know that's how I'm pronouncing Fat and Bleh. That's when it was back at that flat at the hotel. But anyways, I want to make it a personal mission to meet every single cafe member. If you are a fan of the show or just catch it every once in a while, I don't care. Text me. That is my phone number. Text me. I would love to meet up with anybody who watches Medicare Cafe. I will be there. And then we'll also be doing some fun contests. I want to, an idea that I have is I want to do like a code word. Like if you know the code word, tell me the code word and you'll be entered in to win like maybe a really cool bicycle. Yeah. I don't know. Bicycle came to mind. I just got my son a bicycle for Easter. Don't tell him. It's a surprise. Anyway.
He's an avid watcher of the cafe.
Don't post that as a short because he does watch the cafe. My 5-year-old does watch the cafe. No, gosh dang it. Okay.
It's going live right now.
No. Okay, guys. So that is Talk to Me at Medicarians. Definitely want to see more cool stuff to come up on that.
I will also throw an extra prize to anyone who takes a picture and then edits it to make it seem like Olivia looks like Where's Waldo in the C at Medicarians.
I actually do want to wear an outfit one of the days. I have it picked out. It's a red suit, blazer jacket, and then white and red striped shirt, and that's going to be my Where's Waldo. And there's going to be a thing like if you can take a picture with me, you found Waldo.
I love that. That's amazing.
I have all sorts of fun things planned. Stay tuned to find out. Be my friend. Talk to me at Medicarians.
Yes.
Okay. Getting on to the actual content today. I guess it's all content, but the not as fun content. Not because it's bad.
Right.
I guess I should just tell you what it is and quit talking about it. Very meta of me. We're going to talk about the rest of year, also known as ROI. That's kind of what we've been calling it within the industry. Rest of year's sales plans and sales strategies. what are ways that you can continue to gain new clients and help retain your current clients while, again, making sure that you're staying active all year long while preparing for AEP.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start off with like the elephant in the room, the number one that people are like, well, Medicare Advantage plans. Like I mentioned, Medicare Advantage plans are sold. Again, they're huge. They're really popular. It's everything, but it goes crazy about them during AEP. But in fact, the other 9 months of the year absolutely outperform AEP. So why is that? Where are all these clients coming from? There are a ton of other election periods, including the initial enrollment period, loss of EGHP, which is also loss of employer group health plan, loss brand new to Medicaid, somebody who is just recently gained Medicaid status or lost. I just booped it with my nose. Or lost Medicaid status, and a ton of other SEPs. If you're confused on, and right now there's a ton of disaster SEPs going on, so make sure you're keeping up to date with what's going on in your state and your counties. But there's new ones getting released pretty commonly where, hey, was this person unable to enroll because of a drought? Were they unable to enroll because of the tornado? So just keep your eyes on that. Of course, senior marketing specialist will always keep you in the loop, or call us. We can let you know if there's any disaster SEPs. And Integrity Connect will actually let you know if any of your clients are qualifying for an SEP.
Nice. A reminder on the disaster one that you do have to have missed a standard election, and then in order to use that, so you can't use that as like a catch-all, but you do have to have missed a standardized election period in order to use that one. And then chronic special needs plans. The chronic election is really, really big right now. Carriers are seeing and want that type of business. That's where they're putting some of their remaining funds to ensure that those products are benefit rich, and really it's going to be a pillar, I think, of advantage. So if you're not already comfortable with the conversation that is chronic, and we've talked about dual eligible on the cafe before, I really think there's a big shift going on in chronic conditions and chronic special needs plans. So make sure definitely familiar and comfortable with that moving forward.
I think Madeline loves the stripes today. Can you believe we didn't even call each other in advance? We're just kind of like on that same
Well, I try to
page.
get sent to voicemail,
Sadie's wearing, I'm 100%. Ben's calling me. Absolutely not. I don't have the energy,
Look,
strength,
I don't know what colors I'm supposed to wear for the cafe. It's a cry for help. I know.
You don't know what colors are, and that's okay. We love you anyways.
Learning.
It is a learning experience. Dude, seriously, do you ever have to ask your wife, like,
all the time,
like, what color is this?
I actually, in the morning, I have gotten to the point where I'm like one step below of having a spreadsheet of like this
Leave
hanger.
Leave it to Ben to have a good
like
spreadsheet.
Hanger A, hanger 2. A can only go with even numbers. B can only go with odd numbers.
Do you know what's truly unhinged? You're laughing at that. My husband, who is completely can see colors, can do all the things. Okay, but
why
listen.
Is that listen, okay?
Because there's no reason for him to label his clothes, right?
Yeah.
Totally normal. He's totally normal. Not that you're not, Ben.
Male,
everybody
can see color,
He's nothing's wrong with that.
Oh.
Anyways, he used to, until he got with my chaotic self, he used to literally take his socks when he got on the package and label L1R1, L2R2. So he knew what sock went on what foot and which one was his original mate.
Well, that was the thing with like the Nike Elite socks. They were L and R because they were slightly formed differently.
Right, but
these were
one
just normal
and one.
socks?
No, these were just Sam's Club socks that he would write on there L1 R1. So one always went with 1, 2. Anyways,
Man's got a system. I love it.
We don't have the time.
I love a good system.
Also keep in mind when it comes to these enrollment periods, especially when it comes to those dual eligible plans. Again, I can't agree more with Ben. Yes, the chronic condition plans, if you are not familiar with it, if you haven't sold one yet, you really need to make it a priority to learn that even better. Yeah. The only significant difference is that you have to have the provider submit a verification form within 90 days. Within 90 days, is it? Is it 60?
60.
Okay.
I think it's 60.
Of to that. And that sometimes can be difficult because the carriers are trying to become more equipped to handle those verification forms coming later. Mm-hmm. But once you get that process down, it is a all year long enrollment period that they can use if they're not currently on a chronic plan and need to get on a chronic plan. So just keep that in mind.
And the percentage of your folks that are probably already, living with or battling some type of what is deemed a chronic condition is higher than you probably think. And that's one thing that I would encourage you guys to make note of while you're meeting with people, having your notes, updating your CRM profiles, doing some quarter one follow-ups and doing some of that plan needs analysis is write down what potential chronic conditions that they may end up having.
Yeah.
Because that list is also, I feel like, always in question of what we should add else to it. I think there's 18 currently CMS regulated or established chronic conditions. So there's a lot more out there than just like the couple that we're used to.
The ones then those are carrier specific, so keep that in mind. So most of the carriers are going to be some sort of chronic heart failure or heart condition, and then diabetes. But there are plans out there. There's a couple of them right now that are looking at COPD as a chronic condition. Another one is an ESRD chronic one, but those are going to be specific on the plan and specific on the county. Call us for questions. Let us know how we can help you. Now, one thing I will say when it coming to selling Medicare Advantage all year round is you need to be understanding of how you're going to get paid for that Medicare Advantage business. Keep in mind that if it is a brand new to Medicare plan, they've never been on a Medicare Advantage plan before ever, most companies, not Humana due to their recent regulation, most companies will pay a full year's worth of new to a Medicare Advantage plan. So that's going to be your top tier commissions, usually even if you're enrolling it in October for an October 1st effective date. If there's the first time ever being on a Medicare Advantage plan, they will typically pay a full 12-month version of the top commissions for that. However, if it is somebody who is not new to a Medicare Advantage plan, maybe they are on a regular Medicare Advantage plan and you're switching them to a chronic condition plan, then that one is going to usually be prorated based on the month that it's in. And then it's, of course, going to be a not new to Medicare. It'll be half that new to Medicare commission. So understand that with Medicare Advantage plans, a lot of people, again, they talk about how they don't sell Medicare Advantage plans throughout the year because you're lowering your commissions when you're doing those switches. So just keep that in mind.
And for those who maybe don't know why we're talking about Humana specifically or did not maybe understand their announcement that came out a couple of weeks ago, please reach out to us. Basically, it got lumped up and kind of swept up in that there were a lot more non-commissionable plans. That was a small percentage of their announcement. The bigger thing that I think kind of flew under the radar was they are prorating T65 and new to Medicare business depending on when they turn 65 in the year. I think that also jumps to question of like, there's a 7-year window that you have to do that around your 65th birthday. It's going to behoove you guys to do it actually on their month of turning 65 instead of 2 months later, because there's a significant change in that. We're not seeing that prorated or we're not seeing the full amount come through if you're in the middle of the year. If you have questions on that, I think that's why this conversation is really important, is to have a good understanding and multiple pillars for your agency of what can I sell throughout the year, because we're starting to see carriers have to figure out different ways to tackle the T65 market and how they pay. That can't be like, if you are talking to us or listening to us right now, whether it's recording or live, and your business is 98% T65, you have to start having other opportunities in other buckets that you're filling, because this is a very big question to carriers right now.
Yeah, it used to be that carriers wanted the T65 business, and now we're finding that the T65 business is by far the most expensive and with the highest risk and the highest claim. So definitely a switch that the carriers are adapting to, and we'll have to continue to adapt to as well.
100%.
I have 2 more areas or 2 more things we need to talk about when it comes to how do you sell all 12 months, or what is the marketing looking like. And just, because I want to talk about like, what are you marketing towards right now? So in the, how should your marketing be switching up quarters 2 and quarters 3? I'm a huge fan of seminars. Seminars will always be the thing that I recommend doing. Medicare 101s, doing Medicare, top 10 things you didn't know about Medicare, things like that. The other things you need to be doing is getting more niched marketing in these groups that have sales opportunities. So working closer with the D-SNP population, food banks, working with more of those events, things like that. Or working with a lot of provider offices. We just had a meeting not too long ago with Centerwell, who is a valued care provider. So working with those who are going to need to get on those plans using chronic conditions or things like that. Again, rest of year, what I call, you need to become more niche in your Medicare Advantage marketing compared to during OEP or AEP. The second opportunity that you have is obviously going to be Med Sups. Med Sups is making kind of a comeback. And by a comeback, I think it's more so like they're not down and out the way that people intended them to be.
Yes.
People are not abandoning Medicare supplements, even with these massive rate increases we saw back in 2025. In fact, Mutual of Omaha, who is the queen of giving us MedSup data, they only had a 5% lapse rate.
Yep.
So what that's telling me is if you're a Medicare supplement, you want to go after those really strong branded companies, thinking Mutual of Omaha, United Healthcare, other organizations like that. And those rate increases start to go up, people are now expecting that. It's not the first rodeo. They're actually used to these rate increases right now. And a strong brand will give you, one, they can handle those loss ratios much better than some of those smaller MedSup companies. And two, whenever price goes up, they have to fall back on value, and those higher and those better known brands portray higher value. So just keeping that in mind when you're looking at selling MedSups, the brand name carriers are the ones that people are sticking with right now.
We've talked a lot about that over the years of like there's multiple reasons to be selling a Medicare supplement. And I think we're now seeing the importance of not only focusing on the cheapest dollar.
Yes.
And with that has just caused part of why we're in the situation we are in is because we kept moving around folks just chasing that bottom dollar. And
bet your bottom dollar. Nobody else sings of Annie when you hear bottom dollar. Tot tomorrow.
No,
There'll be healthcare. Okay.
Can we do a musical on
I have
health
to do-
insurance?
Can we do a musical?
See, now your turn.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's what you
Medicare Cafe, the musical, after Sadie leaves,
Oh,
who is one that has the voice of an angel.
true. Very true. Yeah, we're gonna have to bring her in. But just kind of touching on, like, I think it's very important to you have multiple reasons. If you're only chasing that least expensive premium, you're making more work for yourself now more than ever. And you're putting more pressure on your partner that is the carrier. Like, you have to view your carriers as your partners in this space and in this business. They're trying to outline what they want and or need to stay in the space. Like, it is part of our responsibility as well in order to kind of work alongside that. The other side that, like, talking about MedSups, like, we always laugh that Q4 is always like MA, AEP. Like, well, Q4 is one of the biggest quarters for MedSups as well. So get out of this, like, structured box that we've been put ourselves in, that AEP is only Advantage. That's the only time, at the rest of the 9 months you're on your yacht or whatever people are saying this time.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not the case anymore. You need to make sure you have any solution for any person that you're talking to. And like Olivia mentioned, these next upcoming 6 months, while you're planning for AEP and piecing some of this together, you have to have very specific intentionality with where you're putting yourself and getting in front of those people that are going to drive these types of niche products or niche required solutions towards you, and make sure that you have a solution for it.
Exactly. That's what Will just heard from Simon Cowell. He said call him but didn't leave his number. Is that one of the situations that's like, I'll call you, don't worry? I heard that a lot. You know what, like, I'll find
I've got a way to get a hold of you.
We got mutual friends. I'll find a way to get a hold of you. The last opportunity is going to be one that we are going to sing and scream until we're just hoarse and sad, is going to be selling of ancillary products. For the love of all that is holy, you have to sell ancillary products. The reason why it's so good these 6 months out of the year that's not OEP or AEP is because you will come across clients that you cannot switch. They're on a Medicare Advantage plan. They're on the right plan for them, maybe. Maybe there's nothing that you can do better for them. Or if there is an option for something better, they don't have an SEP. If you are marketing and doing your job right, you will come across people that you cannot help. Write them a hospital indemnity plan. 9 out of 10 clients, that's a made up statistic, but I would put money behind it, do not have it, and that would buy it, that need it, and they do not have it or have no idea that it exists. And so it's really easy to make another agent look bad and saying like, oh my, like, wait, you're telling me that you have all these out of pocket expenses if you actually use your plan and your agent didn't at least tell you how to get that cut. Well, thank God I'm here. So then whenever, you write that plan, you put doubt in the other agent, and then come AEP, they're a current client of yours. So you can now call them proactively about their Medicare Advantage plan because they are a current client of yours.
Yep.
So I say that hospital indemnity, but you can do that with cancer insurance. You can do that with dental vision hearing. You can do that with final expense.
Home
You
health care.
Home health care. You can do that with anything. Hospital indemnity is just kind of like the no-duh
Yeah.
product, but it's certainly not the only one. So selling ancillary products throughout the year turns a opportunity into actual dollars, and then you go after the big products later. And then the only thing I would say with ancillary products is that you're not tied to a time frame like you are with Medicare Advantage and Medicare supplements. There's always an enrollment period or a GI window or something that creates a sense of urgency. So just keep in mind when it comes to ancillary products that you have to create your own urgency. Not manipulative, not lying, just making sure that like they understand the risk of if they don't act soon.
Yeah.
It's helpful to know, again, like somebody, if if we have this start today, if you get diagnosed with cancer, tell them when's your next doctor's appointment. Okay, we need to make sure we have something in place before your next check-in, because if they find something, it'll be too late to get you on this coverage. Or, just asking questions like that. If you can create the urgency, then you're going to be able to close more sales on the ancillary stuff, because unlike other products, the urgency isn't external.
And you touched on this. It's not an urgency of a specific emotion like fear or trying to push them one way or another. I think the number one kind of back out reason that I get from agents right now is like, well, I don't want to come off as salesy. I was like, well, then don't.
It's not sales.
I don't know how else to kind of outline it. If you think you're coming off as salesy, you're probably trying to sell it to them, and arguably, you're probably trying to sell yourself on the product still too.
Yeah, if you feel salesy, then you don't believe in the product yourself,
Exactly.
right? Like if somebody's saying, like if you're telling your friend what your favorite food is or a restaurant you're recommending, like you're not trying to sell your friend on that. You're just telling them your experience and what you want on it. So if you feel like you're being salesy, what a great point, Ben. You should own the product yourself. Like you as an agent, do you have a cancer insurance plan? Do you have a hospital insurance plan? Do you have dental, vision, and hearing? If you don't, then yeah, it probably is really difficult to sell a client on it. Because if you don't believe in it enough to spend your own money, how are you going to get somebody else to believe in it?
Comes off as very disingenuous. In that regard. So
yeah. So that is what I have, guys. What is the opportunity for the next for the 6-month period after OEP and before AEP, what you can be doing to make sure you are boosting sales all year long, providing value all year long. Again, like it's silly to think that there is an opportunity, but it's just kind of like, how are you adjusting your marketing?
Yeah.
Medicare Advantage, you got to get more niche. You got to get more in the neighborhood. It's not just this blanket, I can help everybody with everything. You got to get more niche to accommodate those special enrollment periods. MedSup, understand it is a luxury product, and understanding what the market's doing. We are seeing some leveling out. There's still tons of opportunities in the MedSup market. And ancillary, great pivot product when you come across somebody you can't change. Great way to get your foot in the door come this AEP.
Yeah, I feel like those three, you should be 3-man weaving for like all my sports and basketball
Gosh,
players.
I forgot the 3-man weave.
Those should be going in and out of one another as a whole. Pass it to one another. Talk about
like a
MedSup.
sleeper agent. I just woke up and I'm getting ready to do some box out drills.
Yep, 100%.
My goodness. Okay. Sad news to all my Medicare Cafearians. Cafearians.
Like a little fairy.
I know, that's what it was, and she was a fairy. I want to be, I have some sad news, but we're all extremely excited for her anyways, even though that we are personally being affected by this. Attacked is the appropriate word. Today is the infamous at this point, because when I talk about Sadie, I'm talking about how mad at me she's going to be for my shenanigans. One of the producers on the show, Miss Sadie, it is her last Medicare Cafe episode. I will not make her come on screen. If you wanted to, you could, but I love you so much. We have to group up. And it'll be very clear why this is her last episode now.
I don't know if you'll be able to tell.
Stripes as well.
Yeah.
Stripes.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. Oh, God. This is Sadie's last episode because she's joining the circus.
I am, quite literally.
But
So, see you guys.
We just want to say thank you to Sadie for her years of dedication of honestly the reason why the Medicare Cafe looks like this and
Really.
isn't just two chaotic people on a screen is because of Sadie's work and her impact on the cafe. So there will never be enough words and love to tell you how much we appreciate and how much we love you, Sadie, and we wish you the best on your next chapter of life, which is being a mama. Being a mama. We're so proud of you. We are so proud of you. You will be missed, but we're very, very happy and proud of you. And this is fine. It's hard to come back from that sadness, but okay.
We'll do an
Will says,
anniversary.
goodbye, Sadie. Congrats on the
Yeah.
baby. I would love to get Sadie back in here, just celebrating 10 years again. As we know, Medicare Cafe is in their 10th years of celebration. And question, you are having a baby girl. She's having a baby girl. Luke's going to be the best little girl dad. So that's going to be really exciting. So yeah, guys, that's all I have. Again, everybody comment, tell Sadie congratulations. Give her your favorite parenting advice. That way people who don't watch towards the end, they're only watching like this, see all the comments of like parenting advice. No context.
It's like
No context, just parenting advice, right? So we'd love that, but we're really excited. Again, come see me at Medicare Cafe. We're going to do Medicarians. Come see me at Medicarians. We are going to do a live episode. We'll have somebody here in home studio who will be talking to me that Tuesday, which is the 21st. That Tuesday, the 21st. So I will be on site doing a live interview. Right as we're looking. It is the 21st. Hell yeah, brother.
This is cool.
Excited. So come be my friend. Everybody give Sadie all the loves and good wishes. Thank you, Sadie, for joining us. Yeah. Now, who's gonna be the villain of the show that I'm like, oh, we can't do that. They'll be so mad. Mr. Biz is the villain. All right, everybody. Until next time, have fun.
Make money.
And give impeccable service. Thanks, guys.